Right now, Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We've got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call, powered by FanDuel Sportsbook.
All right, Ken, thanks very much. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call, which, as you know, is powered by FanDuel Sportsbook. You can call us right here on the Bordas and Bordas hotline. Get on the phone. It's 412-575-2600. Tweet at KD Pomp at The Pony Show. As Andrew Fillipponi from 93.7 The Fan is here. We have a lot to get into, beginning with the Penguins, who went to Philadelphia. Their break starts tomorrow. You could have argued it started already. At least it looked that way. 3-0 Flyers beat them. The Penguins had some chances, but they were very sloppy, turned the puck over. I thought Philadelphia was very disciplined. And the result is it didn't matter who was in goal, because I know some of you out there believe Matt Murray should have been. It's too early for that controversy. Tristan Jarry played well, but some of those goals were just not going to be stoppable based on how sloppy the Penguins were. Andrew Fillipponi, who is an outstanding broadcaster on not just the PM show on 93.7 The Fan, but his national radio show.
What an introduction,
CBS
Bob.
Sports Radio, or
Thank
radio.com. So, what you make of the Penguins tonight?
Well, I think you're right. You're spot on about, the amount of pressure they put on Brian Elliott, the Philadelphia backup goaltender. You could have given him, Bob, I don't know what your favorite beach cocktail is. Mai Tai,
Mai Tai, baby.
colada,
There you go. Let's give him Mai Tai.
Strawberry daiquiri. He could have had his sunglasses on and his flip-flops on. I mean, he barely had to work. I do think, we know that there's an old guard in hockey that likes, the way the Flyers used to play. But come on, can we throw Voracek out of the game for that hit?
Absolutely.
I mean, I just, to me, and I love, Caulfield very delicately, diplomatically said it in the first intermission that he didn't like the hit. I just don't understand how in football, and college football specifically, Bob, we can look at a play for a half hour and throw a kid out of a game, and that hit in a hockey game gets 2 minutes. I can't reconcile that. It was dirty. There was intent to injure. And to make matters worse, Voracek comes back and scores the first goal of the game.
Right.
Hated it.
And he played well, Voracek, and he would have been out of the game if you look at it from ice level, right where one of the referees was looking at it too.
He
saw that knee come out. It was not, it was very similar. If you remember Cam Neely, remember when Cam Neely got hit with Shell Samuelson or Ulf Samuelson? I forget. Ulf. But whatever the case, it was an intent to do what he did to Rui, who left the game. He did return, which is good, but still, I thought that was worthy of a 5-minute major in a game misconduct. We'll return to the Penguins in a second. We'll show you the highlights of the game in case you missed it. But also today, Baseball Hall of Fame, and I never understand the Baseball Hall of Fame. Some years you go, nobody gets into the class. And then you have last year maybe one, Mariano Rivera, the only unanimous guy. Stunned that Derek Jeter was not unanimous. I watched that career, as you did, up close and personal in New York most of the time there. All those years, 5 world champions, 310 batting average, it goes on and on and on, and someone voted against him, or at least voted not to put him in. That doesn't make any sense.
Now, the voters have always, I think, left a lot to be desired. Bob, they made Joe DiMaggio wait 5 years.
That's a good point.
They don't exactly have a sterling record when it comes to this kind of stuff. I want to directly give a shout-out to one of your friends in Beaver County, John Parado, the only local Pittsburgh baseball writer who voted Barry Bonds in. And to me, he's the only local writer that got it right. Because to me, I'm so sick and tired of the baseball writers being the moral authority on this. They treat the character clause like it's one of the 10 Commandments. And it bothers me when you look at some of the people that have gotten into the Baseball Hall of Fame. They gave up that moral high ground a long, long time ago.
That's absolutely right. And Barry Bonds, quite frankly, was allowed to play. Nobody stopped him from playing. The league could have. They chose not to. And so he played. And what did he do? He led everyone in home runs.
And while
baseball acknowledges that, they don't put him in the Hall of Fame.
And baseball loved it, when they go on strike and the fans leave, and Sosa and McGuire bring everybody back to the sport and the home runs, and it's making baseball big again. And then years later now, they throw the book at these guys. And so that's my issue. I mean, for Bud Selig to be in the Hall of Fame, who turned a blind eye and profited off this and watched the sport grow, for him to be in and Bonds to not be in, right there. You unlock the key, you let these guys out of baseball jail, and you make them Hall of Famers, because Barry Bonds is the greatest baseball player I've ever seen.
Me too. I would agree with that. Roger Clemens should be in. Curt Schilling should be in. There are a lot of guys. And once again, the Hall of Fames are different. The NFL doesn't have a morals clause. the baseball. And you're right, these guys are using that more than anything else. To me, I just want to judge what he does on the field regardless. He can be somebody else off the field. If he's allowed to play, what are the numbers and how do they stack up with the rest of the people in the Hall of Fame? We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll show you Penguin highlights and your calls. Call that number, 412-575-2600, right here live on Pittsburgh's CW. Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call is brought to you by Ireland Contracting, celebrating 25 years as Pittsburgh's #1 home exterior expert in roofing, siding, windows, and gutters, where honesty and integrity still matter.